All right. It claims we're live. So hello and welcome. I'm your host Elizibar, and I am joined today by I don't know what to call you on this stream. Like you've had multiple variations of your name in the past. So why don't you just introduce yourself?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm Bren. Like I'm fine being called Bren and like everything. And yeah, I do a bunch of different stuff, including music, and so that's why we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of music do you do? Like we should probably tell
uh,
people what they're in for
oh
here.
yeah. Um, I guess I go usually for prog rock, rock or metal. I don't know. Uh, Both, I guess. Um, I mean, I like trying different things. Like I've done some more synth oriented stuff. I've done, trying to mix some genre. And I tried doing this as well on this album. It's mainly prog metal, prog rock. So yeah,
All right. Prog metal, prog rock, prog something or other. Uh, and I was just commenting because Windowella is in the Twitch chat.
yeah.
He's going pain. And he was just talking about his crazy upside down rain he's experiencing. That's kind of wild. But I guess it's just how they do things up there in the cold north.
I mean, it's Sweden. I'm not surprised.
Neither am I. Neither am I. All right, so what are we in store for this particular album here? I've got your playlist queued up on my other monitor over here. So the first track is prologue at the beginning and the end. But like, what are we in for? Like, this album is called Monogotari, and as I commented before the stream started, that's very weeb of you.
Yeah. Uh, the album is like a very weird project. Like basically first I made this album because I didn't find any album that were both prog and having some kind of anime aesthetic, and I felt like maybe I could make one. So yeah, that's basically what I did. I took inspiration from a band, or technically it's more project, but basically it's called Star One, and every track on the album is a reference to a sci-fi movie or a sci-fi series. So you've got like reference to the Matrix, you've got the Star Wars, you've got Escape from New York, you've got Terminator, stuff like that. And basically, I did the same thing, except like each track is reference to an anime I watched. So yeah. Uh,
All right.
yeah, I think another thing to note is that it's probably my first real, more or less serious project. Like, well, you've listened to my some of my previous stuff,
Yes, I
and
have.
I kind of stopped the project. I like, okay, I composed everything, but I did not record anything, and so for this album, I'm going to go like all the way and have session musicians and stuff like that. So yeah, these are demos, and I'll probably change some uh, some stuff based on feedback and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
So I'm gonna recap what you said just to make sure I understood what you just said. So, you've made all this music in the past before, lots of heavy metal stuff with obviously fake guitar. That's just a synthesizer pretending to be a guitar. Just playing a sound font for us. And this is the first time that you're planning to sit down and actually have real musicians play over one of your compositions.
yeah,
Okay, well, that's pretty cool. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the first song here going. Oh, I should probably point upwards because that's where things are on the stream. The playlist is right above my head. So, prologue of the beginning and the end. I'm going to mute both of us and then I'm going to hit play and we'll come back here in about 3 minutes and chat about what we've just heard or whatever we feel like chatting about. The possibilities are endless for what we could say.
here. Once again, fate has proven to be on my side. Why, yes, you listening to this album isn't a mere coincidence. It is not a random occurrence as you may think it is. This is the future that has been decided. Whether you continue listening or not, the timeline you're in already has a future set in stone for you. Oh, but don't let that distract you. In the privileged companions, you're safe from the organization. You can enjoy your stay.
All right, let me. There we go. We're all unmuted. Uh, okay. You just kind of vaguely threatened me there with the music. Like that just kind of came out of nowhere. I thought I had another window open somewhere until he said like you listening to this album, and I was like, oh, okay, that's where we're at.
Yeah. Oh, I think I have to specify this. The text to speech has been done with a website called 15 AI, and I think I have to specify. I have to to say it comes from here. So yeah, there I said it. Um, yeah. So yeah, what are your thoughts, MP?
I guess you got my first thought there, which was just like, wow, I feel
Yeah.
like I was suddenly attacked by some random voice. That was some pretty good text to speech, actually. I was going to ask you who that was, like if that was your dad or something, like getting on here and like threatening people for you.
Um, no, but the text to speech, um, I think it uses it does it's an AI that basically copies a voice that already exists, and I think it's one that comes from Team Fortress 2. I don't remember which character I picked, but yeah.
Okay, well, it's
So
been a long time since I played Team Fortress 2, so I'll have to take your word on that. I guess that did kind of sound like the soldier, maybe. Um,
yeah, maybe I think I've written it somewhere. I just have to. No, it's spy.
oh, it was Spy. Okay.
I'm French, so of course I've got to pick spy.
Of course. I mean, that all makes perfect sense now. So let's see. I only wrote down like two things here on my notepad. The first was I didn't know exactly what kind of progressive rock or metal or whatever we were in for. So right off the bat, man, those very quick hits in succession, I just wrote down, wow, feels very death metal. That's what I got here. Feels very death metal. Um, and for a few parts of it, it felt kind of Dragon Forcey, which I say that not having listened to Dragon Force since they were on mp3.com like 20 years ago, getting started. But the very fast progressions. Um, it's not as fast as Dragon Force plays, but like that was just kind of what popped into my head. And there was a bit about 1 minute in where instrument popped in, and I wasn't sure if it was supposed to be a guitar. So I wrote down like the synth at 1 minute. What's that instrument supposed to be? Because it kind of sounded like that was almost supposed to be a horn or something.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a saxophone.
Aha!
Yeah, it's not for too long, but I just really like sax solos. And I wanted to have one, like at least in the intro, because there is a bit of saxophone later down in the album, and I kind of wanted to have like the intro, be like, okay, here's some of the stuff you can expect from this album. So a lot of solos, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
this first track is like the most solo danced one. All of the other ones are like less technical, more or less. So saxophone solo, you've got keyboard solo, you've got um, not as much as orchestral elements uh, as I could have added, but yeah, it's like trying to mix different stuff. And yeah, that's what you can expect from this album.
Okay, well, that's a pretty good use of your opening track to show people, hey, here's some different things you're going to hear later, and then you actually provide it later. That I guess it's like actual composition stuff, like something an actual composer would do. What's happened to you?
Well, technically, it doesn't really work as a classical overture since I didn't reuse any theme. I just
Right
used
there,
like
I understand that
similar ways to
there's
compose.
yeah, there's no leitmotif or whatever down in this, but you're still kind of following, like in theater that would be called like Chekhov's gun type stuff. Like this is Chekhov's
Oh yeah,
saxophone. You will hear a saxophone later. So
yeah. That was the point of the opening track.
cool. Why is there a giant robot or whatever as the background image for this next track?
Yeah, the next track has been very tricky to write. So the next track is supposed to be like the regular track of the album, like with a regular structure and stuff like that. So it has a singer. The album uses two singers, like a male one and a female one. However, I didn't use like any Vocaloid stuff. So for the demos, it's more like some kind of synth that kind of resembles a voice. So yeah, it kind of lacks punch. So when you hear it, it sounds like not boring, but if you can imagine like a more powerful voice, I believe it might sound better in the end. Just that the demo doesn't really. It's hard to imagine what the final product will be like. So yeah, I did write lyrics, but yeah, this anime it's literally like just a dumb harem anime. So trying to write lyrics about that is
Okay.
very tricky. So I tried to use like the lore of the anime and stuff like that to portray it like a bit better than just a guy with anime girls.
Okay, well,
So
this
yeah,
just sounds like it's going to be weird. We have, and you've said some things that somebody who's made music should never say, like, "Oh, well, this is the more boring one." Like, you probably shouldn't say things like
yeah.
that when
I
you're
mean,
talking about your music.
I, I mean, it's probably one of my least favorite tracks, but I've got feedback that some people like it, and I feel like even I feel like that having some more regular tracks is a good thing in the album. So it's not like I actively dislike this track. It's just that it's not the one I had the most fun making.
Oh man, I'm getting ready to do on Discord that thing I never do. I'm going to use @here and get people's attention. It won't work. Everybody just filters that out automatically, but there we go. I've done it. All right. And as Winduella points out here, two things, and he stole this one from me because I was about to say these exact words. Like I don't know how he read my mind, but ooh, lyrics is going to be interesting to see you do. That was one thing I was going to say, and he just typed it. Thief. The other thing is always need that variation. You can't always have. If every track is weird and different, then there's nothing to compare it against. Like the weird is just normal. By providing a quote
Yeah.
normal track, then you can make the exceptions, the deviations from that norm, stand out in their own unique ways. So you got to have a foundation to build your house on, basically. And it sounds like this is kind of what it is.
Yeah, I mean, especially after this intro track that's like very dense, like a bit harder to listen to. Just later, like I provide some. Here's a nice regular track that you can listen to.
Well, speaking of which, why don't I mute both of us and get this party started?
Yeah.
All right, here we go.
path to awaken, and the heavenly dragon who has stolen the principles of domination from God. I laugh at the infinite, and I breathe at the dream, and I shall sink into the depths of the prison of the void.
Okay. Uh, that was like four different songs, just kind of rolling in together.
Really?
Yeah, there's definitely like the over the course of like the first 4 minutes, there were four really different things going on. Ninja Weasel kind of pointed this out in the Twitch chat here. Man, this track is all over the place, but I dig it. It was. That track was all over the place. There was some really fun stuff in there. Like at the 1 3/4 minute mark, there was this like build up, and I knew exactly how it was going, and I knew what the timing was going to be, and it still hit, and I still went, yeah, that felt good. What just happened there? And
No.
then, like 20 30 seconds later, something completely different happened, and I don't even remember what it was anymore. But I just wrote down here 2:10. What? Why? How? Or no, not how. Wow. It was 3W words. So it was just like wow. Um, okay, and I got to be like, I can't even read the timestamp here. Did I have this right? 3:51. I don't know. I just wrote down harpsichord question mark exclamation point.
Yeah. Um, it was supposed to be harpsichord.
That's so
Oh,
weird. You've got all this like metal guitar stuff
is
going
it?
on, and you've got an organ going on, and you're just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna put in that instrument, which is so quiet that they invented the piano because it was louder.
Yeah, but it's not so quiet in this track. Uh,
No, it's not, because
uh,
in the real world, in the modern world, you can take and put like a microphone at the harpsichord and then get like
yeah.
actual sound out of it. This isn't the 1600s anymore. We don't have Mozart going, boy, I like the harpsichord, but I can't hear it. Let's invent a piano instead, which, even though the name means soft, will be much louder.
I don't know. I wanted to have like uh, a slight classical vibe, and I don't know. The harpsichord was like the instrument that came to mind, and that really fit like
Oh,
the
I'm not saying
aesthetic.
it
I
didn't
guess
fit.
I wanted.
Like, I'm not saying it didn't fit. I think Ninja Weasel just like put it best here. Surprise metal harpsichord. I did not see that coming.
I I hope it didn't sound like too out of place.
No,
Like I
it was
didn't really
fine. It was
expect it
great. It just
to be so
surprised me.
crazy.
You're over here going, "Oh, this is my normal track," and you've like thrown me for at least two loops over the course of that track. One was the harpsichord, and then the other is I'd have no idea what that voice was saying there towards the end because he was just kind of like mumbling. I think I heard like something about like stealing something from God or whatever. Like I don't even know what's going
Yeah.
on there, but it was vaguely threatening, and took me by surprise because once again I thought I had another window open. So that just kind of like was like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah. Well, I think it's the only text-to-speech that you're going to encounter, except for the very last track. So I think you're fine now. You won't be surprised.
Okay, well, I guess we'll get to that here in a minute. Winduella says it's Espinosa stealing waifus from God, is apparently what's going on here.
It's always Espinosa.
It is. It
Always
is.
him.
So anyway, your normal track was not very normal. Like there was still a lot of like surprising stuff. When you said it's like my normal track, I was expecting something that didn't have nearly that much dynamicism in it.
Okay, well, I feared that it was like way too simple and boring. So
It was nothing.
I'm
It
glad
was
it's
not
not.
simple. No, it was not boring. It was a pretty good jam.
Thank you.
So, uh, you know, just in the interest of time, what is this next track? To the Sea of Flowers dash prologue. Why is it a
Okay,
prologue?
it is a prologue because basically there's another to the Sea of Flowers later in the album, and basically it's inspired by Genshin Impact, obviously. So I did say it was about anime, but I did make some tracks about Genshin because it's anime. Who cares? And yeah, so they divided the story in like a prologue, then chapter 1, chapter 2, etc. So I didn't make chapter 2 because I'm not 100% sure that storyline is finished. So I'm waiting until chapter 3 releases to make a track about it.
Okay.
But
All right.
yeah,
Oh, I do see down here we do have To the Sea of Flowers Chapter 1, too, to look forward to.
yeah,
Are we
it's
listening to this? Is this the right order to be listening to this music in?
yeah. I mean, like if I make, uh, I'll make a track about chapter 3 eventually. So I mean, it's fine if they note like one after another in the album, and I think it's better than not because um, to have like different, to alternate between different styles.
I'm not sure or 100% sure I know, but you know what? It doesn't matter because we're going to go listen to the Sea of Flowers prologue here. I will see you in 9 minutes. So if you need to get up and get like a cup of coffee or something, like this is the time. If your name is Bren, those of you who are out there in the audience, though, you don't get to go get a cup of coffee. You get to sit here and listen to the music with me. So I'm going to mute us, sir, and then start up the music. Okay. That was a whole lot of stuff, and there's no other way to put it.
Well, yeah, I guess it is. It's a 9 minutes long track. So
Well, it's not just that it was 9 minutes. Like there was a lot going on there. I was trying to fix my webcam there towards the end because it's on my. I'm actually using my cell phone as a webcam, and it's just like having weird like slowness issues. So I was trying to fix that, and then or Mr. Windwell is all like, "Oh, he disappeared." Yeah, I know I did. Anyway, I was gonna make like a graph to kind of demonstrate this song here, so I'm gonna do it real quick, and it's gonna be like something like this, and then we get like that. All right. I don't even know if you have the stream open and you can see my line, but like we start out up here, super mega hype, right? You know, that intro is just like, hey, what if the universe exploded inside of our head? And then we just kind of like drop down, and I think Windwell was like suddenly clarinet jazz. I don't know if that was jazzy, but we certainly went down and it became relaxed and kind of beautiful and stuff. And that was a really big transition, and I don't think anybody listening to it out there was ready for what just happened. I certainly wasn't, and that was just like wow. Uh, yeah, I wrote down here nice build up at the prologue because we just like started out the gate going crazy, and then you toyed with my emotions through all your instrumentals. You could feel like trouble brewing a couple of different times in the song. You had that piano going early on, and then you had a guitar, and I think the guitar was playing the same stuff the piano was doing. And then you had them like joining together as a duet, and then that all just kind of went away, and we went up tempo, and then crazy stuff happened, and that was the song.
yeah, well, I did try to follow the story. So I mean, if you can feel like the that troubled happen and stuff like that, I think it's cool. I think part of that track also was me um, trying to convey some more like emotional stuff. Like um, this kind of is also about me literally discovering the game, and it has like a very idyllic feel in some way. So
Mm-hmm.
I kind of try to go for that feel, especially in the beginning, like not being sure that's like the explosion stuff like that, but right after, like the first 2 minutes, like of the calm part, was mostly me trying to convey that feeling I had when I played the game and starting discovering the world and stuff like that. So yeah, I hope it was like a little bit beautiful.
Yeah, it was. It was just the song was quite a journey through a lot of different things. It was uh, definitely like some emotional stuff. Winduella really liked when that violin busted out. Like there were two Craigasm emojis used in the chat there, so you got that going for you. The whole thing I thought was pretty good, and it definitely felt like we were going somewhere. Like we were, there was some crazy stuff. The crazy stuff stopped, and then we just kind of went on like a journey with you. So if that's what you're going for, and it sounds kind of like it, because you're like, hey, I'm replicating my experience here. Uh, that's called a success, by the way, when
Yeah,
you actually get your point across and people get it.
I'm glad. I'm really glad I managed to do it.
Man, that part about halfway through when we started like kicking it up tempo, that was pretty good, man. It was like I felt it, and then I scribbled a note, and by the time I got done scribbling the note and then typing in the Twitch chat, it was like the up tempo was there. So I was a little late getting the text on the screen, but that was fun. That was pretty good.
Yeah, I think I see what part you're talking about, and that's yeah, I like that part as well.
Oh
I'm a
man,
bit proud of it.
uh, one of the viewers out there, Red Avenger, is he's apparently having a blizzard in Canada. That's unfortunate. As somebody who lives,
Ooh,
just south of the border, I can assure you, I feel your pain. Blizzards are bad. And of course, at least you don't have rain going upside down like Windowella does. So you got that going for you. Your snow goes from down to or from up to down. I hope not down to up because that's like an anti-blizzard. And I don't know what happens if a blizzard meets an anti-blizzard. You probably get like Blizzard Activision at that point, and nobody wants that.
yeah. I hope it doesn't turn out to be dangerous or anything.
Well, one thing about living in a place with weather like this, where it's kind of common. Like, I mean, I'm looking outside. There's like a foot of snow just chilling on the ground out there. Um, when you live in a place like this, those kind of events, while they're crazy, you've usually at least got some stuff prepared for it, so you don't have too much trouble. Oh, yeah, Ninja
Uh,
Weasel does correctly point out that Microsoft apparently does want Blizzard Activision. You are correct. I don't know why, but they
Woohoo.
do. Yeah, let's not go there because I don't want to get banned off of.
They got it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So this next song's only like 50 seconds long. What is this? A real man's fist can undo any brainwashing.
yeah, of course they do. There are like three. I called them interludes. Like they're just three little, very short tracks, and yeah, this is one of them. Just like a little stupid track.
Okay, well I'm just gonna hit play on this little stupid track, and we'll see how little and stupid it is, and we'll check back in before Disasters from the Green Moon. Wow, this is a very big like change of moods here to the Sea of Flowers Prologue. A real man's fist can undo any brainwashing. Then follow that up with Disasters from the Green Moon. There's a. Are you okay over there? Do you need some counseling or something?
No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I
Okay.
think.
Okay, I'm just checking in on you, bro. Just checking in. It's been a while. It's been a while. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and hit play on this thing so we can get this apparently like violence over with. I'm not quite sure what to expect here. So I'll see you in a minute. Okay, that was brief and quick and had that weird transition in the middle between one up-tempo monstrosity to the next. And Windowella kind of stole my thought. He puts it in terms of Broforce, and Red Avenger says SNES vibes hitting hard. My kind of thought was this feels like the either like the end credits for a very like impactful game, or it feels like the boss music from a game or something. You just say, "Oh, this is an interlude." When somebody says something's an interlude, it usually means like we're kind of calming down a little bit. Interludes generally aren't, "Hey, it's time for hyperviolence."
Yeah, I'm not doing calm interludes. Fuck that. Wait, no, I shouldn't swear on stream. I'm sorry. um, uh, yeah, this was. Yeah, I guess the Broforce vibe is more or less what I kind of wanted to go. This character is basically like manly done stupidly, like kind of the way Broforce does it. It's like, yeah, a real man always is taller than how he appears to be, stuff like that. And so, yeah, I just did like a little track for it. So, yeah, that's why I didn't say they were interludes. I called them interludes when I was working on the album, but yeah, they don't really feel like interludes. So I don't know.
You should come up with a
They're
new
short
word for
tracks.
that, anti-interlude. Oh, now Windwell
Yeah.
has added waifu liberated. Yep, you got to keep
Heck yeah.
Espinosa away. All right, so what's Disasters from the Green Moon? Like, what are we in for here?
Okay, it references an anime called Goblin Slayer, and it has like a huge D&D vibe that I really like. And basically, the disaster from the Green Moon are the goblins. Well, the fact that they come from the Green Moon is more or less like a legend. So it has never really been confirmed where they come from. But I went with that because I like the title, and yeah.
Okay, well, that's a good enough reason for a title. You liked it. So, let's see, 3 minutes, 50 seconds long. Okay, well, I'll just get this song going. We'll listen to it, and we'll hope that Winduella doesn't coin
Oh,
words like hyperlude in my chat again, because I feel
hyper.
dirty having said that.
Yeah, I just have one thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
It, this track as an instrument, that's kind of buggy. It didn't turn out exactly how I wanted it to be. So I know it's bugged out. It's not like intentional. I'm just saying it.
Okay. I'm not quite sure how to take that or what to expect, but I'm going to hit play
But
and we'll
I
find
don't
out.
really want to spoil it.
Yeah,
So.
don't spoil it. You're good. You're good. You've said enough, and now we know to look out for something, and hopefully it doesn't murder us in our sleep. Okay, I don't know what to make of what just happened to my ears. That that's
In
that's the sum total of my thoughts there. No, uh, so like you just busted in a chorus out of nowhere, which was kind of fun. I'm not mocking that at all. And kind of up until that part at the very end, that last minute, it really felt like this was like the. And I don't know if this is what kind of what you're going for because you're talking about Goblin Slayer and stuff, which I haven't watched. But the song felt like the heavy metal cover you'd find on YouTube of some Final Fantasy boss's orchestral boss music. That's really kind of how the whole thing felt to me, which I take that to be kind of fun because I enjoy that kind of music. But I have no idea if that's what you were going for there. And then you busted out that outro. Red Avenger said like that was the transition from going from like a Megadeth song to an Iron Maiden song, and he's got a pretty good point the way the tempo in the two different segments felt. But really, that outro part, more than sounding like Iron Maiden or Iron Maiden inspired to me, it sounded like somebody riding a horse. It sounded like the music in a western when somebody is you're like at the end of the movie and the hero is going off into the sunset on his horse. Like that's kind of what that outro felt like. And I have no idea if any of that stuff is stuff you were going for or what, but those are my thoughts.
well, the Final Fantasy metal cover vibe wasn't really what I was going for, but no, I've listened to a lot of uh, Final Fantasy music despite not having playing, having not having finished any Final Fantasy games. So I guess it had at least a little bit of influence on me there. And yeah, the outro. Okay, the outro kinda has the vibe you described. I didn't wait for like a Western one, but it's hard to convey what I wanted to convey without recording the instrument. Basically, I wanted to have some kind of campfire feel, um,
Ah.
and because the anime really portrays like both sides, like a more violent, like not edgy, but like really battling goblins and stuff, and some more really calm and peaceful and fun tabletop RPG things. So yeah, it kind of has this like uh, aftermath feel that I was going for. So I guess it's kinda what you describe and kinda not, but you I guess the campfire feel really uh, is hard to convey without recording actual guitar. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I see what you're saying, and now that you've said those words, I understand uh, what you were going for, and I see how both of us can hear that from that same sound or same piece of music. Winduella said it sounds like the gray wasteland after battle with crows picking apart bodies. He definitely went somewhere there, which I think that's kind of fitting because the first 3 minutes were this very violent assault. Like that music just kind of embodied. There's a lot going on here, some kind of conflict, and to end with that, which that took me by total surprise too when you did that shift from the first three-fourths of the song to that outro. That like hit my brain like somebody had a gold wrapped brick and just went slap up against the side of my head, which that's kind of fun. So but one thing I do want to just kind of mention here is have you heard of the critically acclaimed MMORPG Final Fantasy XIV with an expanded free trial, which you can play through the entirety of A Realm Reborn and the award winning Heavensward expansion up to level 60 for free with no restrictions on playtime?
I didn't expect that meme, but yes, I've heard of Final Fantasy XIV. How can you not heard of this game?
Oh, whoops, I accidentally closed my whole browser instead of just the one tab. There we go. Get out of here, Tamper Monkey. All right, we got the music back up. Bro. Stop it, Tamper Monkey. I'll deal with you later. All right. So anyway, you took us on a journey there, and now we've got, what is this, Sweet Paws coming up. It's 4 minutes long, and if this track has any actual music in it, I'll be upset with you because it's called Sweet Paws. So I expect like somebody's gonna play one note, and then we're just gonna pause for a few minutes.
Well, in a way, well, I'll talk about it later, but yes and no. It is an actual song. It's not a pause, but I'll explain it after the listen.
Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and hit play on this thing, and, oh, it's apparently playing without audio. Let me fix that. There we go. So I will see you on the other side of this track in 4 minutes and 37 seconds, as I totally screw up everything here. Come on, work with me. Me and technology, like I do this for a living, and we just don't get along. I don't know why. Something about technology, it's just out to get me. What the heck was that?
It was a sweet pause.
No, there was not. The only time there was a pause was that moment, like a minute in or so. I didn't write down the time when it just kind of like turned into like we're doing the breakdown and here's some drums, for like a few seconds, and then we just like kicked right back up, and we went to a lot of different places, man. There for a second, it was just like, you know what? You know what? I would really just like to have Les Claypool come and play some bass guitar for us. Like that just happened in the middle of that song, like out of nowhere, just boom. And then we had this thing. What was that chorus sound supposed to be like actual choral voices, like, or is that just like you're gonna intend to keep that as like the chorus sound on your keyboard or what? And man, right at the beginning, it sounded like a pop song, and then like a minute from the end, like the last 50 seconds, we did this weird thing. There was like 27 different whatever's going on at the same time, and you just left me flabbergasted. Like I don't even know what to make of what I just listened to.
Well, okay, so basically, the so, sort of vocal sound is supposed to be lyrics. So I don't intend to keep that thing unless it really sounds good in the end. But basically, the lyrics, like in the first part of the song, they're saying, okay, we're going to play music and not waste our time like we usually do. Then there's the whole big like instrumental part with guitar solos and stuff. And then at the end, the chorus have like slightly different lyrics, and they said, okay, we listened to music and we didn't actually do anything, like always. And so technically, from a lyrics point of view, the characters did nothing. They just listened to music. So, yeah, that's why it kind of has like this pop vibe, which are like the characters when they're talking and like kind of practicing music, and the thing in the middle with all the solos or the music they listen to.
Okay, that's kind of weird, but I kind of get it too. Uh, Red Avenger, I did want to read these comments too. I don't know if you're looking at the chat here. He says, when we were like rocking towards the beginning, is like totally getting Judas Priest vibes. And then I think this was around the time that the bass guitar jumped in and attacked us, and I was like, "Oh, what is Les Claypool doing here?" He then he said, "Okay, wow, now we went from Judas Priest to Faith No More for a second." So there you go.
I do listen to a lot of Judas Priest, so I guess yeah, it's there. I've never gotten into like Faith No More, but my mom listened to them, so I don't know if it counts. Um, yeah, I do have the chat. I just don't know what to say, what to type. So, but hi everyone, I see your comments and you, thank you very much.
Thank you. God bless. All right. So what are we in here for, or in for here with Mass for the Dicloni, where we have a naked cat girl or something hugging geometry that's popping off the screen. I'm not quite sure what I'm looking at here. I don't know that I know that I want to know what's going on here, but something's going on.
Okay. She's not a cat girl. It's more like little horns. But
Those look
yeah,
like
the
ears,
anime
dude.
it's from is a
That
bit weird. It has like every sensitive subject ever, and yeah, it has a piano part that I only later realized was out of key. So I'm sorry for that, and I will fix it in the final version of the song. But yeah, it has a piano part that's out of key. I'm sorry. Um, Besides that, I'm not going to spoil the song. It has like a few seconds of silence, so at the beginning. So yeah, don't be surprised by it.
okay. Well, let's go ahead and get this started here, and I'll check in with you in 5 minutes.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I gotta kind of go with some of the stuff in the chat, man. Like I was like digging it, and man, your high pitched, synthesized operatic singer lady voice. That was a bit much, man.
Yeah,
With a real singer, it would sound a whole lot better.
yeah. It. I hope it will, and I mean that's the whole point. But it's probably too high. I'm not so sure. Someone else told me that the opera voice was too high. So I mean, I guess it is. I know it's humanly possible, but yeah, it might be too high, like to the point that it's uh, less enjoyable. So
Well,
and that piano part really doesn't work at all because it's not in the right key.
you know, I'm going to be 100% completely straight up honest here. The piano bothered me a lot less than when she started screeching into my ear
No,
right at the very beginning of the song. Like we had this great like thing building up, and then all of a sudden it was just like somebody took an ice pick and was like, you know what? It's going right in your ear. Boom! And then I just started bleeding from my ear, and it was a rough one, man. It was rough. But I really liked a lot of the stuff you had going on in there. The use of the organ, that build up at the beginning, and let me ask you for the part I'm complaining about, the female vocal part. Like, are you kind of like going for like a Nightwish kind of thing there? Because as soon as I heard that, I was like, this hurts my ear. But I think he's trying to do like a Nightwish thing because she's got a great voice, and if you're just trying to incorporate some of that element into the song, I think that's probably a good idea. But that's definitely like my first thought was, well, first I was like, oh, this sounds like we're building up to some Castlevania stuff, and then I was like, oh no, this is like Nightwish.
I didn't go for Nightwish. I didn't listen to Nightwish for like quite a while. Um, what I had in mind is like more a classical opera singer type, but I think it's more or less what she does. So
She brings that kind of
maybe,
aesthetic to their metal.
um, but yeah, it will be lowered. The opera part will be.
When you go to get this made for real, like opera singers are expensive if they're any good. Just
Well,
saying.
actually, um, well, they are a bit expensive, but they're like on one track. So by far, they're not going to be the most expensive thing.
Fair point.
So I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I composed this album without thinking of how much money I was going to spend because I didn't want to be like limited by that. But obviously, I don't have like infinite money, um, so I would have to make like concessions and stuff. I'll probably have like a fake drums, maybe fake bass. I don't know. Like I don't think all the instruments are going to be recorded by real people because I just don't have infinite funds.
Mm-hmm.
But, no, the most important ones like guitar, singers, obviously, saxophones, probably choirs as well. Will
Makes
be
sense.
recorded by real people.
Cool. I like that you've thought about at least a little bit on some of the budget stuff because money can be the death of a project if you
Yeah,
aren't expecting it. So it sounds like you are expecting it a little bit, and that was a pretty like enjoyable track. I loved a lot of what you did there, man. The use of the organ was very like well done. I had a great time as you kind of as I rose and fell with all that. It was pretty cool. Um, so we have a jet fighter at school. I see.
no way. A
Yeah,
fighter jet at school? Impossible. Yeah, it's another. I don't know if it's not as hyper as the other Interlude. No, it's a very anime track. There's not much to say about it.
Well, why don't I just play it, and we'll check back
Yeah.
in a minute when it's over. And I've seen this cartoon like on Twitter before. I don't know what manga this comes from, but this is a really funny little 2-panel gag. I like it.
Yeah, it is funny. I like it.
All right. I'm going to mute us both here and then hit play. Okay, that was just like you writing an anime intro opening theme, wasn't it? Because that's what that sounded like.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't hide it. Yeah.
Oh man, look, somebody in the chat. Okay, if anybody's paying attention in the chat, go ahead and type "weeb" in the chat, and I'll make sure to like put at least one weeb above my head here. Yeah, that's what that was, man. That was just like, here's my slice of life romantic comedy high school anime intro track with some wacky hijinks because one of the students is actually a jet fighter.
Okay, they all are. Okay, one is a jet fighter, but they all are like some kind of weird mechs or whatever. So it's fun. It's a funny little. The anime is like 5 minutes long. It's more like an ad than a real anime. But there's a manga that's pretty fun, which I liked a lot. So
All
yeah,
right. No, that was like it was jarring after what we had just listened to, but it was like a fairly pleasant little track. No controversy. It's just like I know exactly what he wrote this for. He's creating a little anime series because he's a weeb, spelled with an O.
I weep.
Oh Lord, now Taxi's speaking French in my chat.
Oh,
oui,
bien le bonjour.
oui, on. Okay, so we've got To the Sea of Flowers, Chapter 1 here. So this is obviously like the direct follow-up to the second prologue of the album, which was To the Sea of Flowers Prologue. So does the Sea of
Yeah.
Flowers Chapter 1 start with the prologue before the rest of the song gets going?
No, they don't. I first I planned that they were all like connected, but I scrapped the idea because the they are pretty different, like in terms of inspiration, and in the story there's like some stuff that happens between the two, like a bit of traveling and stuff. So it doesn't really make that much sense to have all the songs following each other. So they're like independent tracks. They just follow
Okay.
like the same storyline.
This one's kind of long. It's 12 minutes long. So anything you want to say before I hit play?
Mm, I hope you like it. I guess. I don't know.
Oh no, now there's multiple French speaks in chat. Please, Brent, I need you to translate all this for me.
Ok. Quelqu'un parle français. Does someone speak English? Pas bien means not good, and oh, pardonnez-moi, c'est un weeb. Oh, excuse me, he's a weeb.
Oh Lord, I can read just enough French that I kind of I wasn't sure about the Quoiqu'un parle français. I'd like the first part there, but the parler is like, oh, somebody speak French. Anyway, I'm going to shut up before I embarrass myself too much further about my Frenchness, and we will take a journey to the Sea of Flowers in Chapter 1 here. And I will see you all in 11 minutes and 46 seconds. I might turn my webcam off for part of this, just so I can get up and like stretch my legs and stuff. But I will still be listening, so don't you worry. All right, I'm doing it, man. I'm going to mute us. We're getting muted right now. Oh no, I misclicked. There. Now we're muted. Okay, so the ending to all that whole big long thing with all those dramatic transitions, different moods, taking us on a journey through conflict and violence, and then like peace and stuff, and the ending was just you faded out? Bro,
Yeah, fair point. Fair point.
bro, you gave me so much drama in that song. It was everywhere. I can't even tell you all the different times where you did something slightly different than where I thought it was going to go. And that every time it was just like a little oomph, and it was great. And then you just faded out at the end. That's like something I would do. You can do better than that. You can be better. I'm
Yeah.
not sure how to end that. There was actually a part I thought maybe like a minute before the ending. I forget when it was exactly, but it felt like we were going to come to an end, and then we kind of picked back up, and then we just kind of gradually drew down again. Um, yeah, that's the only complaint I got. Is just that tail end of the song. It was anticlimactic, and not in the good way, you know. Because in a story, of course, as you're telling a story, you
Yeah.
build up to the climax, and then you have the anticlimax where you're supposed to wrap up loose ends, and everybody gets to breathe a sigh of relief. But that was the way that ended. That trailing off, it just kind of was anticlimactic in the not so good way. Yeah,
Yeah.
here Ninja Weasel got
Uh,
this. He got it. Let
I
me
mean,
just read this. Lead in immediately to
it's
chapter 2, or we riot. We're gonna riot, man.
oh, okay. It's a fair point. It's kinda intentional, but it's not a good idea, obviously, because um, I wasn't 100% sure. Like, I liked it, but kind of disliked it at the same time. But having your feedback, and I realize how disappointed you can feel with that ending. So I try to find a way to end it somehow while still having a name that makes sense story wise.
Yeah, I
So
think
yeah,
that's like the only complaint I got because I only wrote one thing down in this because I just got pulled into it so much I didn't want to tear. Even though I turned on a light over there and I got up and stretched my legs and stuff, but I only wrote one comment down, and it was dig the intro. The way that whole thing started off was just great because it built up, everything flowed naturally, and then the couple of times we did like transitions to different things, it was all just a little jarring, just enough to pull me back into the music, and then it was just back into like I was flowing and vibing with everything you did.
yeah, I kind of mix like slow transitions and some more like abrupt ones. Like
Mm-hmm.
when it's going on for quite a bit, like having some kind of like abrupt, like
Oh,
hey,
you're
now I'm
yes,
changing it right now. It kind of like wakes you up in a way.
yes,
So
absolutely, yeah.
yeah,
Every time it did that, it immediately snapped my attention back to the music. So it worked. It absolutely worked. Windwella suggests maybe slipping an epic drum solo in there. I'm not sure where you would find time and space for a drum solo to breathe, but there you go. That's the Swedish view of the song.
there's always room for more solos. Always.
Oh, he suggests at the very end. Hey, he's not wrong.
Yeah.
He's not wrong.
Yeah.
That
I
might be
mean,
the
in
right
the
place.
yeah, I think it could fit really well. Like a drum solo. Yeah, I think it's a cool idea.
A drum solo
I'll
would
probably
also
go
let you
with
like,
that and end it like
yeah,
nicely.
yeah. You could, bring up the intensity, and then with the drum solo, you can naturally just kind of peter the drum solo down to a slower tempo, and then the song can just like naturally come to an ending like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. I'll probably go with that. I mean, I'll try it and see how it turns out. Um,
Yeah, give it a try.
But yeah,
I'm still having some issues. My webcam is transmitting over my Wi-Fi instead of directly in through the USB to my computer for whatever reason. So I get like weird graphical things going on. I keep trying to fix it, and nothing works. Um, okay, great track. That track felt like it should have been like three separate tracks, just from all the crazy stuff happening in it. I loved it. It was fantastic. Felt like you were scoring. Like the final episode, like the last half of the final episode of a TV show or something like that, where everything just has to be like on like perfectly done and on point and stuff. It was great. So endless wait for a second miracle. We got a cute anime girl standing in a field. There's some glare behind her because the sun's behind the clouds. What's going on here? Is this like a romance? Are we about to like? Are we gonna hug? Are we hugging?
um, kinda. I think you may have heard of the anime Fate, or Fate Stay Night, to be more precise. And
Which Fate anime? There's only like 500,
yeah,
210 video games, 77 mangas.
well, the thing is, basically, Fate Stay Night is originally, well, originally it's more like an erotic game, but who cares about that? Then there's basically it's a visual novel with 3 routes, and one of the routes ends pretty badly. It's when the anime adaptation did it, it was like my favorite ending of all animes I watched. And when the visual novel got remastered, a secret ending was added, which basically completed that bad ending, and it was never released, adapted into anime. So I hope someday it will be, and I made a track specifically about that ending, turning the bad ending to a good ending, basically.
Okay.
And yeah, it's a soft track.
All right. So before I hit play on this, like, since you're talking about like fate and all that, like, isn't this the point where you now need to like do like Archer's Unlimited Blade Works lines or something for us? Like, prove that you've actually watched this thing. You know that you have withstood pain to create many songs.
Yeah, I am the bone of my sword. Yeah, my English is as good as his, which is not a compliment. Um,
No, no pressure. You don't have to do that. I just thought it'd be funny.
but yeah, I've watched like almost all Fate's anime, so yeah, I do know Fate quite a bit.
I just pulled it up just to make sure that I knew the words to it, and uh, boy, yeah, somewhere around I've created over 1,000 blades. Like somehow I got that wrong in my head. Anyway, so as I pray, endless wait for a second miracle. Let's just do this thing. I'm going to mute us both, and we're going to play this song. And I do got to step away from my desk for a second, so I'll turn my webcam off, but I'll still have the cans on my head. Oh, let me put my headset back down so I can be heard. Yeah, so there are some serious concerns here that Winduella has with your choice of sound font.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not even the same sound font. I think it's just cursed for life. Like, yeah, I mean that's pudding we're talking about. I'm not surprised, and yeah,
How is PP Puncher 600 megabytes for the download on Steam? How is that even possible?
because music, I guess.
Wow.
It has like, you know, 50 minutes of soundtrack or something. Yeah, but all the soundtrack is like Rush and stuff. I'm not going to speak about PP Puncher because it's not really what it's about, but it's I have I love-hate relationship with that game. So
Do you love to hate it or do you hate to love it?
for now, I just hate it. I just grown tired of it. And I don't know. It's not really my type of game in the first place, but maybe this album actually was a break from PP Puncher. I talked about it with Pudding, and yeah, I suggested working that thing I had my mind on. Um, well, I still don't, still hate PP Puncher. That didn't change, but I have an album now.
Well, there you go. All right, so what are we in for here with I'm Not a Robot?
She's not a robot.
Do we have
It's
proof?
the um, trust me, the key she has on her back doesn't prove she's a robot.
Hmm.
Uh, no, for it, it's just the ambient track of the album, and I
Wait,
think
wait. It's an ambient. Should I just be playing this while we're talking over it? Like,
uh, it has still a little bit going on. Like that. It's not like anti-ambient music.
all right. So like on the ambient scale, like, are we talking like, you know, Brian Eno ambient, or are we talking like, some really experimental album where like the ambient music is like one note played softly while there's a breeze blowing?
I have no idea what ambient. I have no idea who these guys are, and I don't even listen to ambient music myself. But I don't know, ambient like
So, oh, hold
I
on.
don't know
You
the
don't
intro of
listen to ambient, but you're making ambient music to put on your album. You don't know who
yeah.
Brian Eno is. He's like out of everybody who's done ambient music. There's like two guys, or there's Brian Eno, and then there's like oh crap, Ninja Weasel. You have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. Orbital from they did some really good stuff on a couple of albums like in the '90s. And while their music is ambient, it's also structured, which kind of goes against the ambient thing. But they did some really great tracks. Like they've got that. Yeah, Orbital had some incredible stuff. Like they got that one track that's probably their most famous piece because it was in the first Mortal Kombat movie in 1995, and it's an absolutely beautiful piece of music. Uh, so you're telling me you don't listen to ambient, but you're making ambient music. This would be like
Yes.
me suddenly going like,
How is
I'm going to make a jazz album, but I hate jazz.
okay? I call that ambient music, but I might be completely wrong and might not be actual ambient music. It's just that it's ambient in the same way. I don't know, the intro of Shine on Your Crazy Diamond is ambient music, I guess.
Okay, let's just get this going, and we're just going to see how this
Yeah,
goes.
yeah, we'll
And
see.
and if it turns out that she actually is a robot, I'll be very disappointed in you because you've lied to me.
Ah, I'm sorry. Well, she did. I didn't.
All right, I'm going to mute us now. Let's go. Let's do this thing. Woo! Okay, you can't. That just ended. It's just like kicked out,
Uh,
and now we have fuzzy cars.
okay, another mistake of mine. It's supposed to have like a fade out, a nice little fade out, but
Yeah,
I forgot to do it.
that track needed a
I,
fade out. It needed to gently bring me down. Uh, so I guess I see your picture over here. Hold on, let's open that up. You know, you say she's not a robot, okay? You say that,
trust me,
but I'm
bro.
looking
Just
at.
trust me.
I'm just listening to this music, and you had that synth line going like from the 20, 30-second mark in the song, and I'm pretty sure she's the Terminator, and she's come back.
I think it's racist, but for robots. Just because the music has synth doesn't mean she's a robot. I mean, she may not be a robot.
I don't know. Anyway, that was like very 1980s, not in the synthwave way, but very 1980s in the actual 80s kind of way, where that would have, if you had told me that that was like the uh, end credit music for a sci-fi movie or something, I would have just straight up believed you. I would have just been like, yeah, you know what? I probably saw that movie. That was, oh shoot, what was that movie poster I put in the movie channel here? What was this? Executor, which apparently is also Annihilator. Like, there's two different titles on the same thing here. Like, not sure what's going on with that. But like, if you had told me that was the end credit music for this movie, I would have just straight up believed you, like 100%.
Yeah. Well, thank you, I guess. I did go with the 80s vibe. So
Uh, yes, you should definitely take what I
sci-fi.
said as a compliment because that was not what I was expecting at all. So I was very pleasantly surprised. As soon as that
Yeah.
synth line started, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm kind of vibing with this.
Yeah, your reaction was funny. Because, yeah, you don't really expect it,
No,
especially at this point in the album. So,
you told me it was
it's
going
a
to be
little,
ambient.
hey.
I was expecting like a slow build up of various little synth sounds layering on top of each other, kind of gently guiding me through something. No, it's just like we're like, and then all of a sudden, it just starts up, and I'm just like, oh, okay, well, sure. All right,
Okay,
so
it's not ambient music. Fine.
no, not at all.
Fine.
Not at all. That is a terrible word to describe it. Pudding is kind of closer when he says the word atmospheric, but that's not the correct word. It is atmospheric. That's not the correct word. It's just like it's music you would use if you were scoring the beginning or ending of a film or television show. That's what you created there.
Thank you.
So, what are fuzzy cars? Like, what's going on with this? Like, I'm kind of disturbed by the image on my screen.
Um, it's fuzzy cars. I don't know. It's a little. It's not even an anime, but I don't know. It is on my anime list, so technically, some people consider it an anime, and I know it's a little fun thing I watched. And yeah, it's the interlude before the last long track of the album.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this last thing, 25 minutes long. Like, I got time to get up and like make dinner or something in the middle of that song. That's a longie. I'm definitely gonna have to turn
Yeah.
my webcam off because I'm gonna have to get up and stretch my legs again while that's going. All right, I'm gonna play Fuzzy Cars, and I'll see you in 52 seconds after I mute us here.
Yeah.
I'm not going to save you.
Okay, there we go. Now we're unmuted. I'm just like, what was that? Especially at the very end. You just like, bam.
It's fuzzy cars. What did you expect?
I don't know what to expect. It was fuzzy cars. Winduella says fighting game music, Skullgirls stuff. I'll have to take your word on that. I don't think I've ever actually played Skullgirls, but that was something. It doesn't fit in with anything.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, I got terrible news though. I have absolutely terrible news. My ice water, I'm out of ice now. So, life sucks. It's terrible. It's maybe the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Just to prove it to the stream, I'm going to turn my other webcam on and just show everybody like my empty glass. We're also suffering from the sun going down here. So the color of the light's getting all blue and stuff. I'm going to have to turn on another lamp, I guess. Oh, but we've only got one more song to go. And I can tell this one has words in it because then the half second that played, there were words.
Yeah. Yeah, now's the time to take a bathroom break because it's a 25 minutes long track, so now or never, I guess.
Let's see. Looks like Winduella wanted me to hit a thumbs up on Fuzzy Cars. There we go. I thought I'd been thumbs upping everything that we were listening to, but maybe I missed some.
I'm not going to.
Whoa, Winduella, don't make those kind of comments. You don't want this to go to Bryn's head. We don't need him to have an ego yet. We still need him to not have an ego. That way we can manipulate him so that we get like shares of all of his future millions earnings that he's going to get. So yeah, sorry, okay. Just, oh crap, he's listening to me. Shoot. Anyway, stories, first, second, and final season. What is going on here? Let's just put it that way. What are we in for? What is going on? Why is it 25 minutes long?
Because it's my favorite anime. So basically, it's about the Monogotari series, and it's divided in seasons, and then divided into arcs and different stories and stuff like that. So it kind of follows up the story of the anime, and since it's pretty long, the track is pretty long as well, and it's not even the full story because the anime doesn't adapt everything. So technically there's first season, second season, final season, and then the books only cover the off season and the monster season. So technically, I could make a follow-up to this track that's already 25 minutes long someday when the anime catches up.
Oh Lord, have mercy! First, second, final season, post-final season, extra bonus season. Bryn's just making seasons up now. Season. Yeah, I see how this is going. Okay. Anything we should look out for? Anything you're like particularly proud of? And actually no. Forget everything I just said there. Why do you make this 3 songs? Why is it 1 song?
Because I wanted to have a big final song. That's it.
Prog rock.
I just wanted to have like a big track. I mean, there are like motifs and stuff like that are shared. So, I mean, I wanted to have like one tribute to this anime series I really liked. So, I don't know, making a single track just made more sense in my mind. And I managed to sneak the digits of pi in the time signatures.
Oh no.
So I just wanted to, I managed to do that.
So when you say that, like, what exactly do you mean? Like, are we in for like 314 time or something like that? Like,
I think it goes 34144145498.
Oh God. Oh no. Okay, I'll try to survive. I'll try to survive this.
There's more math stuff, but I don't know. I'm not going to explain everything because it would take way too long.
You know, this is. I wish I had the meme handy. This is where I should just be like, fine, keep your secrets then. Okay, I'm going to mute us and I'm going to hit play. And probably going to turn my webcam off and stretch my legs here after I do that. Been sitting down a lot here today. So I guess I'll see you on the flip side in 25 minutes and 24 seconds. So this is your last chance to say anything. He didn't take advantage of it. Okay, well you're muted now. Nobody will ever hear you again, except through your music.
Sorry.
I'm not going to save you. Only you can save yourself.
everything. I only know what I know. everything. You're the one who knows.
Whew. Okay. I didn't like that fade out the first, like in the earlier song, but the fade out there was the right thing to do. There's no other way you could have ended that, I don't think.
Okay. I wasn't so sure, but yeah, I had the same doubt with this fade out.
Windwell is still awake. Your music did not put him to sleep, just so you know.
Yeah. I mean, it's so horrible. How can you sleep?
That was a lot to take in, and I don't even know where to start. Like we did so many different things over the course of those 25 minutes, and it didn't feel like 25 minutes either. It felt a whole lot faster than that. So that's why I kept checking the time, because it was like, we've got to just be like a couple minutes in, and then I looked like that first time, and we were like halfway through the song, and I'm like, there's no way that was like 3 minutes. There's no way, but obviously it wasn't, because reality says otherwise. That was a lot to take in, and I've I'm just gonna let Winduella's words, handle it. As soon as there we go, there's the last set, and Ninja Weasel concurs. Like it was really good. We got the words masterpiece over here. We got the word dope applied to it, and Winduella says you put Bounty Hunter to shame. So there you go.
Oh, well, thank you. I didn't expect you to place this album above, but
It was
yeah,
great.
thank you. But I try to agree with that. It's probably the best music I've written so far.
I
So,
think I would agree,
I guess.
except for Fuzzy Cars.
Well, I've got a friend who really likes Fuzzy Cars for
Is
some reason.
is that friend's
So,
name Winduella?
no, no. Surprisingly, no. I think it's Winter's first time to listening to this album. So,
Cool.
I,
Uh,
yeah.
I wish I had a lot of commentary to say about what I just listened to there, but it was an overwhelming amount of stuff going on, and all I really got is exactly echoing what people have said. It was great. Um, so, oh, Winwell adds, Bounty Hunter is still more focused, but the individual parts aren't as catchy as this. So there you go. There you go. He walked his praise back just a little bit after you protested.
Yeah, Winter is sacred. Can't touch it.
So what is the plan? Like, what is the plan from here for you for this music? Like, what's the next step you're taking?
That's probably going to be, well, me as well, calculating how much money I have, how much I can spend, and then, you know, talking with the session musicians too, so I can get the parts. Then I'll try to mix it myself, and I'll probably release a single or two. Um, I'm thinking Red Dragon Emperor as the first single, and I don't know which one for the second one. Maybe Sweet Bows, or I don't know, Mass for the Clone, maybe. And then
Okay.
hopefully the album will be out. I also have like the whole album cover concept with a fake band of anime girls and stuff like that. So I've got to work on that as well.
Gotcha. A good piece of commercial art will cost you at least several hundred euros, probably more than that. Once you get the commercial rights
Yeah,
to use it for your purposes, just kind of give you a heads up there. Uh,
yeah.
I guess there's two follow-ups there. One is when are you gonna start doing these things, and the next one is Windwell's comment of are you gonna try and get on a label. I don't personally see why people need record labels these days. They don't seem to do much in the way of promotion or support like they used to. But maybe the situation in Europe is different than the situation for labels here in the U.S. So, are you thinking you want to get on a record label and publish this that way, or are you just going to do it all super indie, or what?
I have no idea. Like, mm, I don't know. if I probably like release the singles like myself, and if a label is like, hey, you want to sign with us or something, maybe I'll consider it. But the plan is to publish it myself unless like a label comes to me and says, whoa, sign with us, something.
That's fair. Uh, so what kind of timeline are you looking at? You looking to have the music recorded and mixed down and everything ready in a year, in 6 months? Like, what are you projecting as when you have the final versions of all these demos ready to roll?
I have no idea.
No idea. Okay, that's fair. You know,
Um,
this isn't something that you have a lot of experience with. I just thought I'd ask
yeah,
because sometimes people have some grandiose plans of, oh, I'll get this all done in 2 months or something, and it's like that ain't happening.
yeah, not in 2 months. That's for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'm waiting a little bit, because when you're composing, you can have your head full of what you write. You can have to back down a little bit, gather some feedback.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm doing now. Then I'll probably cut back, like changing a few things, like some fade outs, like the opera singer and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, I don't know how much time it will take, the whole recording process. So we'll see from there. But I've got time, so it's fine.
All right.
Yes, I'm whispering because my mom is sleeping.
I kind of figured you were around people and you didn't want to get loud, so I was going to mention it,
I'm
but
sorry.
there's nothing to apologize for. I think your audio levels look in my headset. You sound just fine, and the audio levels on OBS here, you're spiking up to the yellow with your whispers, so you're still loud enough. People should be able to understand you. Um, cool. Well, thank you so much for sharing this with
Well,
us, and I know it's late for you there, so thank you for staying up with me to make this happen.
no, well, I'm used to stay up late, so it's fine.
Yeah, you're still a young guy. You get to do
Yeah,
this sort of thing. Oh,
yeah. Do you have any critique or things you didn't like, would like to be changed?
uh, I think you've already absorbed all the criticism that
Yeah,
I have to offer in pretty much the whole album there. That last thing, I was just kind of overwhelmed with everything there, and I don't have good notes. But Winduella does say some of the lead guitar sounds kind of screechy and can get annoying at times, and it doesn't harmonize with the rest of the song it's in. That sounds very similar to the complaint about the opera singer part hitting those really high notes. So maybe just go back through and uh, just close your eyes and just listen to the music without the preconceived notions of how it's supposed to sound in your head, which is a hard thing. Maybe
yeah,
there's a few little
exactly.
tweaks like that you can get to.
Yeah, I- I'll try to see where this applies, because right now I don't really see it, but I'll give it another listen to
Well,
see where it sounds screechy.
knowing Winduella, he's probably got like timestamps written down for you, like this occurred at time 220, 227, 257, 818. He's probably got it like itemized over there because that's the kind of guy he is. All right.
Well,
I'm going to let you get to bed because I got to get going too. It's almost 6 o'clock here, which means it's what? Is that 2 in the morning for you?
now it's 1 in the morning,
1 in the morning.
almost 1 this
Okay.
morning. But it's fine.
That ain't too bad then. I hope you have a great one, and I hope you find the money to make this as good as it should be, because you've got a great foundation here. Uh, these demos are all pretty good. There was nothing here that was just like, oh, I don't want to ever listen to this. Even Fuzzy Cars was okay. It was just weird.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you
Well,
have a great one, Bren. And if you have any final thoughts, now's the time to say them. Otherwise, I'll just let you go.
well, a huge thanks for having me and listening to what I wrote and give feedback. It really helps. So thanks a lot. Like really.
Hey, you're welcome, and thanks for sharing it. Like, I didn't know this was coming, and when I saw it, and when Duella was like, "Hey, you need to do this," I was like, "You know what? He's right. I need to do this, and share this with a lot of people." So, you take care, Red Avenger. I see you're heading out. You also take care, and I'm just gonna go ahead and end us off on the stream here. I got no other commentary for you. It's just good, solid work, and a lot of it.
Yeah, everyone.
Take care. Bye bye. Oh, let me give a thumbs up before I go. There we go. Now we can end stream.